What is up, my people? Welcome back to the channel for another album review. I'm your boy Naseem the Dream. If you're new to the channel, just go right on ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell as well to always keep notified on my newest content. And today I will be reviewing the new Rosalía album, Motomami. This is the third full-length LP from the 29-year-old Spanish singer-songwriter and producer Rosalía. With what we received so far, Motomami goes off face value to be noticed as a pretty far-off leap from her last record, El Mal Querer, with this record falling deep into her Spanish roots, creating more marvelous content posing influences of flamenco pop, experimental, and Latin R&B. However, this record can also be viewed as a very large leap compared to her debut record, Los Angeles, where in fact, Rosalía started demonstrating her prodigious vocal talents first in the land of Latin folk music. From these two early LPs into the career alongside what we've seen transition into the popularity into reggaeton music has just proven that Rosalía is in fact a major talent not only in the Latin community, but as well as the music industry as a whole. The singles that we received so far from this newest project from the Latin singer sort of create this illusion that this record may still stay in this one-dimensional order, greatly differentiating from her last work, but after this play, it is clearly a misconception. To begin this record, we start off with the second teaser track, SAOKO, already in your face with that overdriven bass and wacky instrumental varying from drums to piano spasms. Then transitions to what I see being the exact polar opposite, falling right into Candy, going into this more soft melodic, still working with the reggaeton style with the drums and pitch vocal chops. Then from here, moving on to the track La Fama featuring The Weeknd. Off of the first listen, I was pretty unimpressed with what the song had to create musically, but giving this a closer look this time around, I actually like this track a lot more, and I think I was pretty harsh into it in the beginning. This time around, the melodic just sound way more pleasant, noticing way more push from Rosalía and how sweet she really sounds on here. I'll still say that I really wasn't that into the leads that were placed onto the mix, and still not stunned with the vocal chemistry between Rosalía and The Weeknd, but I will say it still works for the best. It is also fairly noticeable with the highly dynamic and varied sound selection onto this record, where each song shares its own tale into its own universe. BULERÍAS is like this ritualistic summoning, with the only thing that's placed onto this song is the lead vocals, background vocals, and some marching drums playing. But the experience you get from this song is just like a whole different landscape of offerings, and how this song is approached productively is just highly considered to be the foundation of this track's success. The auto-tune used along with the vocal layering on here are just so thrilling yet so subtle and weird. It's so brilliant. And on the track Chicken Teriyaki, I was trying to speak very lightly and just waiting more talking about this track when the upcoming release came out. Still sounding like a standard reggaeton song to me. That's not irritating, it's just forgettable. But Hentai has to be the most unexpected move for this record so far. There's experimental aesthetics now displayed onto the mix with these drum lines that just sound like it's out of an Arca record. But looking into it, interestingly enough, we have guest producer Pharrell Williams welcome onto the song with numerous other producers as well. Not only do I find that absolutely fantastic about this track, but Rosalía singing over these pianos is just it's gorgeous. The vibrato combined with the power vocals displayed onto the song G3 and 15 just display more proof of excellence for Rosalía singing. With this track also following some major themes of taking great care and importance with family, with the vocal sample on the tail end of the song. What kind of seems a little bit weird that's placed on this record with the title track is just about a minute length and full of this like laid back rap verse impacted with some overdriven 808s that just kind of feels like a little bit random as a placement. To the midpoint, this record is just so compacted with so many unexpected moments. Like, how about the hidden feature from James Blake on the track Diablo? Like, God, these distant vocals on here were such a pleasant surprise. DELRIO de GRANDEZA follows traditional Latin folk songwriting that celebrates its culture to its peak with gorgeously flourished Latin horn sections and marvelous vocal performances. Then pushes the limits more and more into experimentation on the song Cute. Already just going all over the place with the drum work on here, creating more discombobulated art pieces that just hold a truer meaning deep within. Como Unji has to be one of the biggest heavy highlights on here and one of my personal favorites onto this song, shining bright melodically that can bring the light to all darkness it shines upon. On the interlude ABCDEFG, we have Rosalía spelling out the alphabet with each letter referencing a word or phrase that best describes her. I found the influences for this interlude to be pretty impressive and how she really goes off with the ICAO, which is like basically a military communication system. But transitioning after this, we go back into that reggaeton element with the remainder of the record, still being very impressed with the distinction in sound selection, isolating from the tracks from the rest. Then finishing off with SAKURA, which is a live ballad performance that feels like it's an ending epic to this epic opera. So I know that I kind of went off of these tracks a little bit subtly and a bit quickly, but there is a great amount of detail that really goes into the work with the songwriting and just overall with the production and what's really going into this record that really just catches you off guard. Sure, there may be some moments on here that do feel like it's overdoing it, or it's not really just fulfilling its duty, or maybe a bit unnecessary, but nonetheless diminish no great value at all from this record. This is just a widely thought out record, and it just varied with what the record has to possibly offer. This project to me is just so outlandish, and it just evolves into a whole different species of Rosalía, demonstrating the seriousness into her craft. After this listen, I really think I could confidently say that Rosalía truly outdoes herself with this record. When it comes to the production and the songwriting, they're absolutely next level. The singing is just more potent in beauty than it's ever been, and not only is this record step up to another dimension of innovative songwriting, but it's also just striking in a satisfying, jarring way that I'm just left overwhelmed after this listen. And with that, I'm gonna give Rosalía's Motomami an 88%. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, go ahead and like, share, and comment down below of what you thought of this record, and if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Down in the description, you'll see all the separate tracklist ratings for the album, more videos, and also the links to my social media accounts so you can keep up with me on the daily. We'll catch you in the next one. Dose.